Megan, and this is my cat Winston. He is a rescue from secondhand hounds. A lady that I know had found him, and they discovered that his belly was huge and distended from what turned out to be urine. They didn't want anything to do with him. They were just gonna put him out of his misery, and she saved him. And then I contacted the cat director at Secondhand Hounds, and she said, you know, if you'll agree to foster, then we'll take him. And they thought he was just gonna have a simple surgery, it's called a PU surgery, and be done. And that's not what happened. So I ended up taking kind of on his care and seeing that he got the care he needed, and then definitely couldn't let him go after all of that. He was about 10, 11 weeks when I started fostering him, and now he's 2.5 years old, so he's doing well. Winston has a tube in his bladder that allows me to drain the urine out of his body and keep his kidneys functioning. The tube is fairly long. It's about 12 inches or so long. This is what's inside him. So this part is in his bladder, and it's attached to his abdomen. It's right in there. I access it through the end of the tube, which you can see here. So this is one of his old tubes. He gets a new one about every 6 months. And I drain him about 3 times a day. And I can feel the resistance that he's actually empty now. The reason that he wears the pajamas is so that he can be active and normal, so that the tube doesn't catch on anything, and he can jump, run, play, and be normal. His pajamas are not a fashion accessory. They're definitely, as I tell people, a medical device. They keep everything protected and secure. The reason they say dog on them is because I have to buy them to give me the pattern, and they happen to be dog pajamas. But it turns out dogs are chunkier and not as long, so that's why I have to modify them a little bit. Oh, you're just mad. You're just mad, aren't you? You want to get down? He does have to wear the cone whenever I can't fully supervise him. This is Winston's cone. He's pretty good about it, and he has to wear this just so that he doesn't damage the area around his tube opening, and so that he doesn't get germs in there. So, and it looks bigger on his page and in pictures than it is. It actually is pretty small. He can still groom, you know, his hind end and everything with it. So, and he gets along with it pretty well. He really likes to lick. Yes, the area around his tube gets a little itchy, and so he really likes to lick it, and we don't want him to be exposed to any more bacteria than he otherwise would be, and then also he could damage the delicate skin around the tube. He's always had a zest for life. I think there was no wrong answer with what to do with him. You know, I mean, euthanasia would not have been a wrong option, truthfully, but he just had a desire to live, and everything we did to him, every test that we did, you know, he came through with flying colors. He got his tube in, and the nurse couldn't even hold him because he was awake and wanting to climb the walls. He just wanted to live, and he showed us that continually. I just loved that about him, his spirit. He's so unique in that so many people had a hand in his life, from the person who initially rescued him to the veterinarian. Some of the veterinarians follow him on Facebook, and so many people gave so much to him. So it's been a way for us to all come together and enjoy the little spitfire that he is. He's cool in that not as many people maybe rally around cats as dogs, and so for me he's kind of a chance for all of us crazy cat ladies and cat people to celebrate something cool with a cat, and a cat getting something that was not inexpensive for sure, and and seeing him have a good quality of life has been really nice. And I think we all can share in him, and so many people, again, had a hand in his care, that the reason he's here today is because of the network of people that he had surrounding him, who raised money for him and supported him throughout his life. Winston's a perfect example of the reason why you should spay and neuter your pets and adopt from rescues, because part of the reason that he has the issues he has is that he was horribly inbred. And when they did the surgery actually to put in the tube, his testicles were located where ovaries would normally be located, so his insides were all kind of mixed up. Irresponsible breeding can sometimes cause similar issues. When you breed the same animal over and over again, or too young, or too old, or too many times, rescuing an animal keeps these animals from being bred in irresponsible ways, and it helps save lives like Winston's. If I hadn't been involved and knew about rescue, nobody would have been there to help him. I'm a huge advocate for it, and he's an example of why we all need to spay and neuter and not buy animals from people who are more than likely irresponsible breeders. I definitely wanted to say that Mission Animal Hospital and Natural Pet Health, so many vet clinics just really supported Winston and gave him so many treatments, and didn't give up on him, and were really innovative. My doctor at Shady Oak Vet Clinic, she listened to me. He's alive because she listened to me and didn't just say, oh no, that's a silly idea, and say, oh, I think we should just let him go. She was so, again, just innovative. And every idea that I came to her with, she brought to somebody else and said, hey, would this work? And most of the times the answer was no, and then in the case of the tube, the answer was yes, absolutely, it'll work. Let's do this, let's give it a shot. He had so many, not only individuals that really supported him, but vet clinics and veterinarians and specialists. And it's amazing to be able to be a partner in care and to have ideas and not have them shot down. And that's the reason he's alive, is because people were open-minded and they cared.